Hey, it's Martha Mikk back with a spring painted flower pot. I have coated this with some Mod Podge inside and out, seals everything. I'm going to use my basic colors for acrylic paint, a lot of white. We're going to put a background there. There's my brushes. I'm just using a 1/8 inch flat and a very fine liner. I found that using aluminum foil for my acrylic palette works really well. You can get up nice and close, very little waste, let it dry right on there. Now, important to practice with your brushes. Just get decent at making some circles, practice. Anytime you have a little downtime from drawing in between your process here, practice. Just paint, paper, your brush. Now this is a little technique that I've used. 3 little circles make a viola or a pansy, makes a cute little flower. Now we're ready to go. Start coating our pots with whatever color you want. I think spring, we need some bright colors here. I don't really like pure white, so I'm going to use some light green and some blue. What I did there was chose this brush, 1 inch, 1.5 inch, and there's my Mod Podge, nice and smooth. You use less paint when you coat it first. A dabbing motion here, I prefer that to stripes. I didn't like that color, it was a little too light, so I'm darkening it up a little more green. And you're going to notice one of the characteristics of acrylic paint, it dries darker than it is when it's wet. Opposite watercolor, which tends to dry lighter. Now, while I have some downtime, I'm going to practice again with my brush. This is my liner brush. Practice just making straight strokes horizontally, vertically, diagonally, whatever you like. The more you practice, the steadier your hand will be, and you'll get the hang of this quickly. It just takes practice. And there's some strokes that I've made. Now it's very important to keep those liner brushes, these very small brushes, keep them clean and free of paint. The acrylic paint dries very quickly, so you do not want to forget to keep those brushes clean in between each step. You'll be very unhappy if you have stiff brushes. I'm making my background, my sky color with some blue, and we're going to have fun here. Now I'm going to paint some clouds. I like clouds on top of this blue here. It's cute. Clouds are fun. You can get a lot of relaxation by just making nice little circles with your white paint. And here we go. I've got some there. So you see, it's just apply the paint, rub it off. Now you have to imagine that your light is coming from one direction. So my light is coming, the sun is up in the sky on the left. It's morning. And what you do is you just get a little bit lighter on that left side. I'm just pulling out a little paint with the back of my brush. This takes time. Remember, this is to relax. It's not just about the product, it's about the process. Here what I'm doing is while the paint is drying, I am just applying a little bit of water, very, very little, streaking it back and forth between my blending brush, which is that big wide one, and my little flat liner here. Now, this takes time. Have fun with it. Now some grass. This is really simple here. You practiced your straight strokes, so do this around the edge there, the bottom. And this is some practice drawing that I did. I looked online, found some pictures. Daffodils, they happen to be pretty hard to do. So I chose this little grape hyacinth, and I have made an odd number of them. There's my dog. It's always nice to use odd numbers, so I have 7 there. And what I've done is if you see how I apply this, it's a little angular there, down at an angle. And that, if you look at a grape hyacinth, that's how they grow. The white is the light catching on the edges of these. And you know, this is impressionistic. So what I've done is I apply the white, then while it's still wet, with a little water on my brush, I blend. And then there's some leaves, and nobody's going to look at this up close, so it doesn't have to be perfect. Perfection is the enemy here. This is a little tulip. I like that. They're simple to do, and they look lovely. So, you know, take your time with this. You're going to keep adding color gently with the liner brush. Take your time. And if you make a mistake, just get a paper towel with some water on it and wipe it out and start all over again. Works fine if you let your background dry. So here I am, just adding color. There's a little green, thickening the stems, putting in some leaves. And you'll notice I have 3 large ones, and I have three open and 3 closed tulips there. Now, more red, got a red tulip, and again, you've got some light and some shadow. So we imagine that the light is coming from the left and the shadows will be on the right. Dry in between. Now we're going to add some highlights. Now, you can do anything you want. This is pretty complicated, but I encourage you to give it a try. Just practice drawing your flowers. Pick the simple ones that you particularly like. And see down at the bottom, I've got my little pansy type thing there. Here again is that blending technique. I've put on some white to represent the highlights, and now I blend with a little water, soften the edges. Here are my little violas, pansies, whatever they are. They're little blue flowers, 3 round, just 3 little circles and 1 white one in the middle there. You can do whatever you want with this. The idea is to have fun and make something pretty. You're going to plant things in this anyway, so, it'll get dirty. And there's our finished product. I think that came out pretty well. I'm happy with it. Last thing to do, remember, we always have to sign our work and date it also. These things, if you don't break them, will last for many years, and they make wonderful gifts. Try this. Make your flowers as simple or as complex as you like. There's a few. Daffodils are hard, but they're pretty too. Thank you for watching, and Patchogue-Medford Library has lots of craft videos. Check out our website, check out our programs. Thank you.